Sky Striker takes on a new evolution with Brave, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, Sky Striker. That's a whole mouthful. We have Tri-brigade with Punk this week, and just a whole chunk of other interesting ideas. Let's go take a look for OCG Thursday, shall we? Make sure you guys smash the love crap of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. The first list we're going to be looking at today is the Omni Negate, yes, with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, the package. So basically, you set up Brave Token, prepare for full interruption ahead for the opponent, and then basically we don't let the opponent get the chance to play the game, because Aquamancer is just the freest advantage that anybody could really want to see here. So we have triple copies of Aquamancer of the Sanctuary. Hey man, just banishing it to get the best frickin' advantage engine that we could want is pretty good. Thank you, Red of Armesia. We have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one copy of Celestial, and one copy of Dasher, the bricks, one Effect Veiler, one Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Maxi, with one Space Rock, and two copies of Ray, with one Rose. Very interesting that we've kind of like crammed down on this package, but this package is pretty much all we need. Then we have one copy of the Griffin Rider, Omni Negate Central. Then we have two copies of Called by the Grave, one copy of Crossout Designator, one Draco Backsteed, triple copies of Fusion Destiny, one copy of Journey of Destiny, and then we have one copy of Reinforcement of the Army, triple copies of Rite of Armesia, one copy of Afterburners, one Hornet Drones, one Shark Cannon, two copies of Widow Anchor, one Multi-Roll, two Engage, one Talents, and one copy of Vandy's Emptiness, wrapping up the main deck here. Down here in the extra deck, we have one copy of Zeke, two copies of Shizuku, one copy of Kaino, one Kagari, two copies of Hayate, with one copy of Celine, one Verte Anaconda, one Link Spider, one copy of Nightmare Unicorn, one copy of Dahark. Man, seeing this card just existing just dilutes the format. Free link climbing. They have one Hulk, one Access Code, and one Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Bonus points, take your opponent's Phoenix Enforcer for 500. Then we have one Lancia, one Pangertops, two Phantasme, one Ghost Bell, one Nibiru, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, one Harpies Feather Duster, one Mystical Space Typhoon, two copies of Different Dimension Ground, and two copies of Dimensional Barrier here, wrapping up effectively one of the cooler ideas that I've kind of seen come out of the OCG. You can really just mesh all of the engines in the world together to get the maximized results. Next up, we have Tri-brigade, but we're playing a Punk package here. So this is the Noah Punk Seaman here. So you can pay 600 life points to add a Punk monster from your deck to your hand, except for Noah Punk Seaman. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a Punk monster. You control gains 600 attack. But, okay, so we're not playing E-Telly for this. We're just playing this to pay 600 to recruit for Noah Punk Foxy Toon. So once per turn, when this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle, you gain life points equal to that monster's original tag. And then you can only use each of the following once per turn. So we contribute one Punk monster, special summon this card from our hand, and then you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Send one card from the hand or, to the graveyard. So special summon one Punk monster from your deck, except a level 8. So this mini engine gives us a resource outlet to kind of just set up here. Also, this is a tuner monster, so you get a whole nother level of interactions. Yes, my favorite, a level 2 Earth Tuner monster. You already know. We have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, triple copies of Maxi. I love the fact that Maxi plus Seaman is, God, it's literally naturally a beast. We have one copy of Nibiru, triple copies of Foxy Toon, two copies of Seaman, and then we have triple copies of Rockdoll, two copies of Karis, triple copies of Kit, triple copies of Nerval, then we have two copies of Called by the Grave, two copies of Crossout Designator, two copies of Tenki, one Foolish Burial, one copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, two copies of Pod of Desires, two Prosperity with two Twin Twisters, two Imperm, and two copies of Revolt. Down here in the extract, we have two copies of Shurag, one copy of Rugal, one copy of Frigette, one Bear Broom, one Almirage, one copy of the Meow Meow Mew, one Harvest Skinger, one Apollosa, 1 Double Dragon Lords, 1 Axis Code, 1 Cheese Owl, 1 Natural Beast, 1 Dawn Dragster, and 1 copy of Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Side deck here we have triple copies of Lancia, 1 copy of Droll Knockbird, then we have triple copies of Winter Cherries. How these Tri-brigade variants get more and more interesting here, especially if we are really exploring Ghost Reaper here as an option for this deck. We have 2 Token Collectors, 2 Forbidden Droplets, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 Imperial Order, and 1 copy of frickin' Red Reboot here. Wrapping up, yes, Tri-brigade Punk. Doesn't that sound edgy and cool? I bet it does. Next up here, we have Despia. Now, Despia here, like I've said before, we got our new friend Guardian Chimera here. So it's 3 monsters with different names. Must be first fusion summon using only monsters in your hand and field as material, minimum 1 each. So if this card is fusion summoned by a spell effect, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters used from the hand, and if you do destroy cards your opponent controls, equal to the number of cards that were used as material from the field. Alright? And then you can only use the effect of Guardian Chimera once per turn. And then your opponent cannot target this card with card effects while polymerization is in your graveyard. You have a 3300 body that gets you a net draw, gets you a pop, and basically gets you all of the pieces for your Despia core into the graveyard. And you literally get access to a small Fright Fur package built into your deck right away. That feels kind of cool, actually. So we have 1 copy of Ad Libitum of Despia, triple copies of Aluber, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Tragedy, 1 copy of Dasher, 1 copy of Denier. We have triple copies of Diviner, of course, 1 copy of Dramaturgia, triple copies of Edge Imp Chain, triple copies of Maxi, and then we have 2 copies, the best card in the deck, Branded in Red, triple copies of Branded Opening, 1 copy of Despia Theater of the Branded, 1 copy Foolish Barrel, triple Forbidden Droplets, triple copies of Fright Fur Patchwork, triple copies of Fusion Destiny, and triple copies of Polymerization. Wrapping up the main deck here. In the Dynamic Deck Track, we have 2 Guardian Chimeras, 1 copy of D-Hark, 1 copy of Venintis, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 the First Dark Lord, 1 copy of Dragostapelia, 1 Unicorn, 1 Dingrisu, 1 copy of Dangerous. Ooh, yeah, I love the fact that we're playing Dangerous over actually the big... Nah, just kidding. Replace this with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and go. And then we have 1 copy of Verte, 1 Despia Quartars, and then, yeah, option trees, just kidding. Yeah, so Destroy Phoenix Enforcer with Dangerous. More options available for you more generically. And then, of course, we have 2 copies of Masquerade, triple copies of Lancia, 1 Pankratops, 2 Nibiru, triple Twin Twisters, 2 Super Poly, 1 Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here. Wrapping up the main deck. Last deck I have for you guys today is DDD. This whole new support line here made this deck kind of become like a top contender in the OCG. I know a lot of the OCG variants people just loved comboing with this deck. So we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 copies of DD Crow, triple copies of DD Griffin, 2 copies of Lamia, 2 copies of Necro Slime, 1 copy of Orthros, triple copies of Copernicus, triple copies of Kepler, 1 copy of Thomas the Tank Engine, triple copies of Little Swirl Slime, triple copies of the Elugi King Vice Requiem. Then we have 2 copies of Maxi, 2 copies of Lord of Darkness, 2 copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Dark Contract with the Gate, 1 Dark Contract with the Swamp King, 1 Foolish Barrel, 1 for 1, 1 copy of the Human Resources, 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Witch, triple Rivalry of Warlords, and 1 copy of Vanity's Emptiness. Then we have 2 copies of Gilgamesh, 1 copy of Seven Sins, 1 Zeus, 1 copy of Kaiser, 1 King Kaiser, 1 copy of the Marksman King Tell, 1 Kali Yuga, 2 copies of Doom Monica, 1 copy of Alexander, 1 copy of Siegfried, 2 copies of Genghis and Super King Genghis. Then we have triple copies of Lancia, 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 1 Maxi, 2 copies of Dark Oil No More, 1 Harpy's Featherduster, triple copies of Heatwave, 1 Raigeki, 1 Talents, and 1 copy of Dark Contract with Errors. Wrapping up this chunk of OCG deck profiles. I really am excited to see how Brave will impact the TCG here as we finally get it here in the near future. So guys, what do you think about the awesomeness. It's kind of all been wrapped up for you guys here. Please leave a comment about what you guys think. Smash the like button, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on. There's some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanco40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCO40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcogames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.